We call it people technology.
インテル入ってる。
So Chennai Super Kings have picked up their first points of IPL 2021. We look back at that game on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket for T20 Time Out, powered by Intel, Irfan, Pathan and Dan Vettori with me. Some games are thrillers. They go down to the last over. They're exciting. And some games are like the one we just witnessed, Dan, between Punjab and Chennai.
You look very excited, Raunak.
I'm trying to inject excitement because I was pretty much watching the game like this, like, okay, come on.
It shows on your face.
All right, and that was as good an effort as Chennai would have wanted after losing the first game. And now that everyone's played two, everyone, the exception of Hyderabad, have actually tasted victory now.
Yes, it's 2 points. I think that's what CSK will take out of it. 2 points to get themselves on the leaderboard and an impressive bowling performance. We talked a lot about Chahar and how he bowled to set up a victory, and that's simply it. His spell in the power play in those first 6 overs has got CSK their first win. And I know there'll be some satisfaction around Faf batting for a while, Moeen Ali coming in again at 3 and looking to be aggressive, but it's all about Deepak Chahar today.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke of him at length at the mid-innings show, Irfan, and the impact that swing can have even today. But as we just look at the smaller positives from CSK, it's not just that this game was won, but Moeen Ali is looking really good with bat. And you think if they win the toss, that just makes them look like an even more dangerous team. Dhoni would be very happy with this win, easy as it may be.
Oh, absolutely. And easy means it's a convincing victory, and that's what you want as a team. Look, it might not be a good game to watch for a crowd point of view or viewers point of view, but for a team's point of view and the leader point of view, this is the kind of cricket you want to play, especially after the defeat. And I'm sure Dhoni will be very happy, especially all the bowlers as well. Look, Deepak Chahar has been fantastic. There is no doubt about that. But even Moeen Ali coming in, chipping in for wicket, that can really help in terms of confidence as well. So overall, was a good bowling performance, and that made it easier for the batsmen.
What does Punjab take from a game like this, Irfan? Such a strong performance in the first game, and it didn't look like they were in the contest for a large part of this one. What's the takeaway for Punjab?
Question: why would you run when you have Jadeja in front of you and Chris Gayle?
Yeah. It seems like a very ill-fated and a very big moment because it was the two key guys, and an ill-fated decision.
Yeah, look, they should not have run because I think, look, Deepak Chahar's spell really, troubled them big time. There is no doubt about that. But I think that run out of KL Rahul put them really back. And if that run out would not have happened, things might have been slightly different. And next time when they go into bat again, they need to make sure that they don't lose wicket, especially when Chris Gayle is batting. Don't lose a wicket for a run out. I know it might be a very small thing, but it's a very important thing because Chris Gayle will be playing most of the matches, and you don't want to keep getting run out, especially be there is Mayank Agarwal, be there KL Rahul, or whoever is playing in front of Chris Gayle. Just keep that in mind. But otherwise, apart from that, look, if you lose wicket, 4 wickets in the power play, you're not going to be coming back in any kind of game. Only miracle can save you.
Yeah, I mean, most teams would rely heavily on their top 2 or 3, Dan, but do you get the impression in these early stages of this year's IPL that Punjab are even more reliant on their top 2? Maybe KL Rahul, certainly. Other teams have players that can still win you a game in batting 5, 6, but Punjab, you think every time Rahul goes cheaply, they might struggle.
It feels like Punjab Kings' fortunes are in KL Rahul's hands, and that's okay because he's such a good player, and we've seen him in the past have stellar seasons where he can be high scoring. He has a lot of responsibility with the captaincy and wicketkeeping as well. But I think it sits pretty well with him, and I think he's comfortable with that. I think he likes to lead. I think he wants to be in charge of that franchise. So I don't have any issues around that. It's just the complementary pieces and whether they have a deep enough batting order to give him that support. We know players like Chris Gayle are going to need time to get into the tournament, into his innings. Does he have enough support around him? And possibly that's where the team selection will come in when they look at someone like a Moses Enriques and whether he offers a little bit more value from an all-round perspective.
Is that something they need to look at immediately after one loss, Irfan, for you?
Not immediately after one match, but it's a good point then raising it because if you have a batting at number 7, Jai Richardson coming in, it's a bit thinner side, in terms of batting. So you have number 6, Shahrukh. So they need to make sure that majority of the time these top 6 guys do the work for you. But having number 7, number 8, either they can actually make Jair, um,
Jai Richardson.
Jai
They
Richardson
have
bat number 8.
Jordan.
Yeah, Jai Richardson bat number 8, and the Chris Jordan batting number 7. They can do that as well, or Moses Enrique, one of the two guys. They can surely look forward. But as I said earlier, because what they have done in the auction, they might have to just go with these two guys for a bit more period of time.
Okay,
I think,
fair enough.
Raunak, I think
Yes,
that team selection normally, from my experience, is always sort of boils down to one person, and it's normally that number 7 batting spot. And when you overthink it, sometimes you never really need it, and then the times you need it, and you put someone who's a little bit out of their depth, it really shows up. And I think Jai Richardson's probably a number 9 batsman, not even a number 8 batsman. So to ask him to go up to 7 is incredibly difficult. So when things are going well, selection's easy, and that number 7 or number 6 spot never becomes an issue. But when you're under pressure, that's a position that normally becomes the focal point for selection, for media, for people like us to talk about. And I don't think you can expect Jai Richardson to be 7. He's a number 9, Jordan's an 8, and then Moses Enrique's a 5, 6, 7. So it's way too much pressure, and that finds its way to the opening partnership as well. Rahul will be thinking about that he's got to be on top of his game. Otherwise, if we lose 3 quick wickets, we haven't got a lot left in the tank. And that's also with Shahrukh Khan at 6, who's inexperienced IPL level. Deepak Hooda tried him out at 4, and there's a lot going on in that Punjab Kings team at the moment, and it all finds its way back to Rahul if it's not working well.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of whether this is also a result of going by the reputation of the Wankhede in the first couple of games. Yesterday, Irfan Delhi left Hetmeyer. They decided they wanted to strengthen their bowling. Punjab, we thought this was a bold selection to not play either Hendricks, Jordan, or even Fabian Allen and play a specialist bowler. Will these last 2 games just make teams think differently now for Mumbai? There are 6 more games in Mumbai. All of a sudden, would you want to look at how you approach a game at the Wankhede, especially if you're batting first, differently?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. Look, this is where if the teams have more all-rounders, they will be more beneficial, because then they can actually have extra batsmen or extra bowler. Teams like Chennai Super Kings. Look, I know that Chennai Super Kings, when it comes to bowling at the death overs, they might be a bit more thin, but because they have so many all-rounders, they can do the job, and their batting lineup can be a bit longer if the ball is doing around bit more. But look, when you talk about especially for Kings and Punjab, one thing they can try and do is let Chris Gayle open with KL Rahul, and let Mayank Agarwal, who's slightly out of touch, give him some breathing time and make him bat number 3. That might work for Punjab Kings.
It has happened in the past. Would you be tempted by that, Dan? Interesting thought from Irfan.
Well, I think so. I think with Chris Gayle, to get him at the top of the order always helps. But I think it's going to be more influenced by their selection to that middle order. I think good teams have an all-rounder, and great teams have lots of all-rounders, and that's what Irfan suggested, is that all this becomes easy when you have all-rounders in the team that you can select and balance a team out. And maybe Punjab Kings need to look at the Fabian Allens and Moses Enriques to see if they can balance out their team, because it's easy for Mumbai, it's easy for Chennai, because they have those people in their squad that allow them to be flexible. At the moment, it feels like it'd be very difficult for Punjab to be flexible, and that's why there's so much pressure on that top order to get it right, because if they don't, then the balance of their team looks out of sync.
Okay, well, let me try and again now put you on my rapid fire spot. In one line, I want you to tell me what teams should now keep in mind when they play the Wankhede Stadium. It seems like a complete 360 turn from the first couple of days. So what should teams keep in mind, Irfan, when they play the Wankhede now?
5 bowlers. Make sure your top 7 batters are well equipped to play in a condition which swings around a bit. And if you can do that with top 7 batsmen, one of them can actually, top 6, can one of them bowl? That will be an advantage for you. If you have that resources available, then use that. Don't go like what Delhi Capitals did yesterday, that played 1 extra batsman less.
Dan?
Very tricky. I think you do all this analysis in the background to be prepared, and at the moment I don't think teams are prepared, because they don't know what to expect from the Wankhede wicket. So find some more rounders, and that assessment period in those first 4 or 5 overs could be crucial going forward.
One thing I like to add, Raunak, if Mumbai pitch getting bit more time in terms of rolling and bit more recovery time, then you might think that it might be a high scoring game. So then you plan accordingly, because if back-to-back games are happening, it might be a low scoring game because you don't have much time to roll on the pitch.
Okay, well, there's certainly a few more games left in Mumbai, including some afternoon games. We'll see how this Wankhede surface plays. Before I wrap up, maybe a one-liner also on that odd 8-ball innings from Suresh Raina. I know he's only just coming back, but there'd be a few fast bowlers would be lining up to bowl to him if the short ball is going to trouble Suresh Raina. Dan?
Well, I think there's always been that reputation around Suresh Raina around the short ball, but he still managed to be able to be an incredibly successful international and IPL batsman. I think that innings was a product of a lot of time out of cricket, and I think the more opportunities he gets, the less that'll be a concern for himself and also CSK. Yeah. So I wouldn't worry about it. They're quality fast bowlers, and Meredith, Shami, Richardson didn't bowl to him, but they put some pressure on him. But it looks like a guy who hasn't batted for a while. But I do believe he can get past it like he has in previous IPLs.
It does look like, Irfan, that it is now clear that it is Dhoni's way to go to bat Moeen at 3 and Raina at 4, no matter what they're doing.
It's a good option because Moeen Ali is, looking in good touch, where Suresh Raina has come out and playing IPL without playing much, good amount of matches. So I think that's a perfect way, and even short ball as well. Like we always thought, Suresh Raina will be vulnerable with the short delivery, but somehow he finds a way to score runs and put bowlers under pressure, and that is where bowlers forget to bowl those bouncers, and that's the way he plays, and that's why he's successful as well. That aggressive instinct. So I think we will see Moeen Ali batting number 3 and Suresh Raina batting number 4 for some time now.
All right. Well, that's pretty much a wrap. It's a game that's ended well before time. So that'll be very pleasing to Daniel Vettori, who can catch up on some sleep now as the sun is about to rise in Auckland. Day off for you tomorrow, Daniel. Enjoy that. Irfan, you as well. We'll get you both back for the 3:30 kickoff, the first early game between Bangalore and Kolkata day after tomorrow. Dan, you're so happy the early games are back, and we've got more of them, the double headers.
Thank you for my day off, and thank you for the early start in the next game.
All right, we'll have it fun for that. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow for build-up for Mumbai against Sunrisers, just after the toss, remember, 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Dale Steyn and Sanjay Manjrekar will be with us, so do join us then on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket for T20 Time Out, powered by Intel.
We call it people technology.
インテル入ってる。